20 credits for a graveyard. He paid 20 credits for a tomb. That's what the listing said anyway. Abandoned homestead, Aridian Rim, Sector 9 null. No water rights, no grid, no questions. 20 credits was exactly what remained in Sergeant Caleb Gravedigger, Morrow separation account after the Corps deducted medical, psych-eval, and the cost of shipping his shattered platoon home in boxes. He bought it sight unseen. A place to finish dying slow, far from anyone who might remember the man he used to be. The shuttle dropped him at the edge of a rust-dread canyon that looked like God had taken a hatchet to the planet and walked away bored. Wind screamed through stone spires sharp enough to shave with. The house, if you could call for crumbling walls and a roof held together by dust and bad decisions, crouched at the canyon's lip like it was thinking about jumping. Caleb stood in the doorway, duffel over one shoulder, and felt. Nothing perfect. It was exactly what he'd paid for. He'd work till his hands bled, then sit with something that had stripped paint in a cup, watching the stars. Soon enough, having noticed the light in the windows at night, the local thug crew, a pack of hungry, desperate youths playing at being gangsters, saw him as an easy target. Their amateurish attempts at intimidation demanding protection fees were almost comical to a man who had survived galactic battlefields. He dispatched them with a weary competence that left them more confused than hurt. He lasted 6 weeks in that beautiful, brutal silence, but it was destined for disruption. Then the first kid showed up, a green-skinned reptilian boy, maybe 8 in human years, eyes too old for any child. He stood at the edge of Caleb's firelight holding a cracked canteen and didn't say a word, just stared like the flames might bite him if he blinked. Caleb sighed, tossed him a ration bar. Eat and get. The boy ate, didn't get. 2 nights later the insectoid girl arrived, tall, willowy, antennae trembling like she was hearing music in a key nobody else could. She carried a bundle of sticks tied with wire, offered them like tribute. Caleb took the sticks, pointed at the horizon. She stayed. By the end of the month there, they all were curled up on his floor like stray dogs that had decided the devil they knew was better than the one outside. He told himself he didn't care. He lied. Then the ship fell out of the sky. It came in smoking, engines coughing blood, and kissed the dirt over half a klick from his porch. Caleb watched it die with the same detached interest he'd once reserved for sunsets. Figured he'd salvage what he could in the morning. Morning brought Elana instead. She climbed out of the wreckage with a split lip, a plasma rifle older than she was, and a smile sharp enough to shave with. "Mind if I borrow your shade, soldier?" she asked, voice like smoke over honey. My ride's having a bad day. He should have sent her packing. Instead, he handed her water and watched her fix the well pump with a hairpin in pure spite. A drifter whose patched-up ship had given its last gasp on the edge of his property. Her eyes held the same storm-tossed history as his own. She didn't see a monster or a recluse. She saw a man building a wall against the world and decided to help him lay the stones. She was the owner of exactly 1 dead ship, 1 old rifle, and 1 functional boot, the other held together with industrial tape, toe flopping. By the time the twin suns set, she was still there, sleeves rolled high, grease on her cheek. Laughing at something the 4-armed mammalian kid runt they called him had done with a bucket and a rock. That night the silence was gone, replaced by small voices, the clatter of tin cups, Elana's low chuckle when Runt tried to braid her hair with all 4 hands and mostly succeeded. Caleb sat on the porch steps and felt something inside his chest crack, not break, just shift. He told himself it was heartburn. He lied. More local thugs showed up soon enough. They came at dusk, 6 of them on hoverbikes, bandanas over faces that hadn't seen a real combat or challenge. Wanted protection tax as well. Caleb stepped off the porch, leaving the rifle he carried through 3 wars leaning against the rail. These punks had never seen a serious fight, let alone war. He put the fear of an angry God into them with ease. They left bruised, maybe fractured here or there, not too injured, but afraid. He thought that would be the end. It was the beginning. The mayor, fat, smiling, always smiling, didn't like loose ends or things he couldn't claim. He sent more, then worse. Poised the well, temporary but effective. Filters solved that. Burn the seedling garden the kids had planted with seeds Elana scavenged from her ship-S emergency kit. Left warnings here and there, even an old knife stuck into the doorframe with a note that read, "This rock ain't big enough." One night they came for the children. Caleb met them in the dark with Elana at his left and Runt snarling at his right. The reptilian boy clutching a sharpened stick like it was Excalibur, the insectoid girl humming a note so low it rattled teeth. They didn't lose, but they bled. Afterward, Elana stitched the gash across Caleb's ribs by lamplight while the kids slept in a pile like exhausted puppies. Her hands didn't shake anymore. "We can't keep doing this," she said quietly. "I know. So what do we do?" He looked at the sleeping faces, green scales, chitin, fur, and human dreams all tangled together and felt the last piece inside him click into place. "We stop surviving," he said. "We start winning. They didn't declare war. They declared truth." Elana cracked the Mayoress' encrypted ledger with parts from her dead ship and a stubbornness that could bend steel. Caleb walked into town at high noon, no rifle this time, just a data pad and 20 credits in his pocket. He stood in the square and played the recordings for everyone to hear. Every bribe, every beaten debtor, every child sold for water rights. The thugs who come to kill them the week before stood in the crowd with bruised faces and new eyes. When the mayor tried to run, it was his own people who stopped him. Justice on a frontier world is fast, ugly, and final. 3 months later, Caleb stood on the same porch rebuilt now, stronger, and watched twin sons bleed across the canyon. The house was loud with life, Runt chasing the reptilian boy through the new garden, the insectoid girl humming while she helped Elana hang laundry that smelled of real water and hope. Elana watched him for a moment from the porch, idly rolling the ring she now wore. Created from her ship's scraps, then moved to his side, slipped her hand into his. Calluses matched calluses. "Still 20 credits well spent?" she asked. He looked at the impossible family the universe had dropped in his lap green, gold-furred, human whole, and felt his scarred heart beat steady for the first time in years. "Best damn graveyard I ever bought," he said, "under a sky full of unfamiliar constellations. A few orphans and the broken soldiers who accidentally become a family watch the stars come out. And somewhere in the dark between worlds, the galaxy whispered a truth Caleb Morrow finally believed. Sometimes the deadliest thing a man can do is start living again."